everyone, how are we today? Just doing a quick all signs reading, looking at love and your person. All right, so if you don't currently have a person, you can still watch this video. It will be highlighting, what is likely in the near future, or maybe it's a crush or something along those lines. There could also be somebody that you're connected to on a soul level that you're just sort of hasn't come into your reality awareness as of yet. Sometimes I see those coming through quite a lot. So these messages, you can take what resonates and leave the rest. If it's not suiting your individual situation, that is fine. You're more than welcome to check out other placements, or check out, wait for other love readings as well, or leave me a note in the comments and let me know if you would like to see a specific style of reading or topic or anything along those lines. All right. I love seeing those comments. I love seeing those likes and subscribes. So thank you all so much for all those. Keep it up, guys. I really do appreciate that. Today I am using, I've got a bit of an interesting combo going today. The kind of main deck I'm going to be using is the Scrapbook Chromatic Lenormand. All right. But when it comes to the challenging aspect, so the truth that you're avoiding with your person, I will be using the Blocked and Blessed. Okay, so this deck is quite harsh, so that's why I am just using it for just that challenging aspect there. All right, but then when it comes to the past, present, and future of your connection with this person, I'm using the Divine Goddess messages. Okay, so it's a bit of a, it is something sort of, we're doing past, present, future. Then we will have the truth that you avoid, which is, the challenging aspect, the advice, and then the outcome for your situation, for your connection. All right. So we'll see how it goes for everyone. All right. Timestamps will be in the description box for anyone that does want to jump ahead to your placements. All right, all my other info there as well. All right, if you're looking to make a booking for a reading, that Ko-Fi link is the best way to do so. All right, we're going to start off with Aries and move our way on through. Okay, Aries. All right, Aries, looking at love for our Aries. Love for our Aries. Okay, starting with past, present, and future energy for Aries and your potential person or your person. Okay, Aries. Past, present, future, love energy. When we're looking at the challenging aspect for Aries, please. The truth that Aries is avoiding when it comes to love or this connection, please. And we're going to then pull you an advice card and an outcome card. We will clarify as necessary. Advice for Aries, please. And the outcome, please. All right. So the past, present, future that we're seeing for you here, Aries, when it comes to love. In the past, we're seeing abundance. All right, that your goals and plans have come to fruition in the past. So, certain things that you have wished for when it comes to love or connection or, this relationship, they have already come into fruition in the past for you. I am kind of getting this energy, Aries, of, be careful what you wish for, that for some of you, those things have actually already happened. And then when they did happen, you were kind of like, that's not right. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I asked for. But if you stop and think about it, you were offered a lot of different forms of abundance and potential to be fulfilled with what you were asking for when it comes to love. So whether or not that's an ongoing situation for you or not, that's up for you to sort of work out for your individual situation. The present energy, we do see success for you here, Aries. Your current ventures will excel if you stick with them. All right. So for a lot of you, there is somebody already on your mind, you know, that you do already have some sort of connection with, somebody that you have, you know, had success, feeling fulfillment with that person in the past. I feel like with that abundance card there. So for a lot of you, that is the current venture. But for others of you, this is actually something completely separate to love altogether. That it's kind of, it is sort of talking here about the current, you know, growth that you're experiencing with the way that you're looking at love and approaching love. And, you know, you've had this past energy of having to be careful what you're wishing for. And so now it's kind of made you realize, oh, maybe I need to make some changes about what exactly I'm wishing for here. And so you're having success with that venture of self-growth, all right, when it comes to love. Pardon me. Because in the future, true love, Aries. Put your whole heart into what you desire. So it's like put your whole heart forwards. Don't be afraid of being vulnerable in the future here. Put your whole heart into it. Don't hold back. Don't play games. Don't be minimizing your feelings to, you know, not let on how you feel or those sorts of things because the love is true. All right. The challenging position we have for you here, the truth that you've been avoiding when it comes to love, we have healing isn't aesthetic, it's awkward. All right, so it says spiritual glow-ups don't come with filters, authenticity, struggle, and reality check. All right, so there's something here about maybe that's why you have been holding back a little bit. You know, when we're seeing in the future energy there, put your whole heart into what you desire. You know, the glow up is real. It's a struggle. It's hard. You know, self growth is hard. It's not as easy as, you know, snapping your fingers and bang, I have a totally different life. You know, wouldn't that be grand? It's authenticity. It's being real to yourself, being real to your feelings. And so the struggle for you here is to accept that growth is not pretty. Growth takes hard work. It's not easy and it's not pretty. It is a struggle. It's hard work to put in the work. And that's what you're kind of avoiding right now is, you know, there's this part of you that's like, but I'm healing, I'm growing. So shouldn't things be looking better? But that's not always the case. You know, sometimes you need to keep on healing and growing even when it looks like it's not having an immediate effect on your life. All right, it's not this, like I said, it's not a sort of magic wand that you can just wave and everything is beautiful all of a sudden. It involves a lot more work. All right, so that's what you're trying to avoid there, Aries. Your advice, we have the fish. Okay, so focus on that abundance. Focus on your feelings of abundance that, you know, that's coming through in the past, that in the past you have had abundance in love, whatever that means to you, like some sort of fulfillment or feeling like rich in love and love's experiences. All right. So your advice is to, you know, use that as part of your healing process to recognize the abundance that you have had in the past when it comes to love. All right. So even little things like, oh, I had that ex that used to always buy me flowers, or I had that ex that used to always, you know, do nice things for me, and they would, you know, buy me clothing just because they were thinking about me, or, you know, all sorts of different love languages and whatnot. Just paying attention to those small little details that, you know, in retrospect, you're maybe understanding that was showing you that there was an abundance of love there, even if it was not ideal to the rest of the situation. You know, even if the entirety of the situation, you know, if it's an ex for a reason, right? So even if the entirety of the situation wasn't pretty and beautiful, that I'm sure that there was little moments or things that you know attracted you to that person, that were part of the abundance of that love. All right, so really paying attention to those things is your advice. And for a lot of you, also just focusing on, you know, that glow up, that success that you're trying to manifest right now in your life. For some of you, focusing on your money, your career is definitely key here as well. The outcome we see for you, Aries, we do have the coffin. All right. And so a lot of people freak out when they see that card. But the coffin ultimately talks about transformation. All right. It's ending the old version of yourself so that a new version of yourself can be born. All right. So your outcome is that you are, ending one cycle and starting another. That the growth is working, kind of thing. That the struggle is real. The struggle is completing, or not necessarily completing, but you're moving from one cycle, one level to the next, so that you are embracing the transition, embracing closing the lid on the past so that you can move forward into the future and embrace that true love and be open to it, in the future here. All right, to have that trueness when it comes to love, between yourself and others. Okay, Aries. So that is what we are seeing for you, Aries. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Taurus. Okay. Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Looking at love for you, Taurus. Taurus. Past, present, future love energy for Taurus, please. Past, present, future love energy for Taurus and potential connection, please. Okay. Just got so many decks going here. It's finding spots to place them. Okay, Taurus, the truth that you're avoiding. The truth that Taurus is avoiding when it comes to love. The challenging aspect of love or this connection for Taurus. All right, and then we are looking for the advice and the outcome for Taurus, please. The advice and the outcome for Taurus. Okay, Taurus. So starting off with your past, present, future. Well, I've just dropped one of those cards. Sorry, Taurus. Past wanting to fall away. There's true love in the past, though. All right. You've put your whole heart into what you've desired in the past here. So that is always a good thing, in my opinion, Taurus, to put your whole heart into it and, try your best, kind of thing. I do feel for a lot of you, you may actually still be with the same person that was this true love in the past. All right. But not necessarily for all of you. But it's kind of like, be proud of the fact that you have been open to love and you have been vulnerable when it comes to love in the past. You've put your whole heart in, and even when things haven't worked out for you, at least you know that you did try. You genuinely did try with your whole heart. Okay. The present energy, we have life force coming through here. And that one says, you are expressing your creativity and sexuality. All right. So very interesting. That's a very exploring sensuality and self-confidence is definitely coming through here when it comes to, feeling sexy, Taurus, but it's also being a bit creative as well. So for some of you're kind of in that temptation energy where you're wanting to try new things, or and see if they work for you, and that sort of thing. So it's a very interesting energy for you in the present. In the future, we have comfort. Okay, so obviously you already are feeling that comfort a little bit if you're able to express yourself so freely on a sexual level there. But take refuge in your love and enjoy what you have. All right, that this is a safety, comfort kind of love that you can rest assured that is there for you, and it's soft and warm, and it's still exciting, but it's like very comfortable, and that you can trust that love. Okay, so that's a really positive energy for you there, Taurus. The challenging aspect we see for you, the truth that you're avoiding, is the delete the text, block the number, reclaim your peace card. Delete your thumbs rest. Let your thumbs rest. Closure, detachment, and release. All right, so I feel like for some of you, this is like, it's actually kind of talking about, for a lot of you, this is like checking up on your exes, or you're checking up on your partner's exes, or, you know, seeing who your ex is dating now, or, you know, it's giving a little bit of third party kind of energy. You're keeping tabs on exes, those sorts of things. For some of you, maybe even communicating with exes, like, and even though it's not, like, I feel like for a lot of you, it's not, there's not even any interest there on your end. It's more, I'm not going to lie, Taurus, it feels a little bit like validation, you know, because you're in this energy right now, this life force energy, where, you know, you're expressing your creativity and your sexuality, and it's kind of like you're wanting to be seen. You're wanting that confirmation, that validity, that, oh, I missed out on Taurus. Sucks that I missed out on Taurus. Taurus is so sexy. You know, you're kind of just wanting that. And that for some of you is why you're kind of this energy of like just wanting to make your exes squirm kind of energy. Not gonna lie. But it's kind of like, yeah, you're just wanting that validation that, sucked in. I had a glow up and you're stuck there crying over me kind of energy. But it does say, you know, closure and release that. You know, delete the text, block the number, reclaim your peace. You don't need to be, you know, perpetuating anything there. Okay, Taurus. When it comes to your advice, we see the bear. I love that for you, Taurus. Strong, confident. I'm the boss of my love life energy. All right. I have healthy boundaries. I can protect myself and my honor and my peace and my love, you know, my heart when I need to. But I can also nurture and grow love in places people thought it was unable to be grown. You know, I can be protective of my love, and I can be protective of that person that I love, as well as, you know, just standing tall and confident and strong. All right, that's that taking charge kind of energy. So once again, we're seeing, you know, especially in the bedroom for a lot of you at the moment, that sensuality, that taking charge, that, you know, that creative energy coming from you, like, let's try this tonight, you know, because you're, you know, getting a little bit risky when it, you know, it's not even risky. It's just taking charge of what I want to try. I'm confident, I'm strong, and, you know, I thought I might want to try this, so we're going to try this. All right, so that's your advice, to continue being that bear, because the truth of the bear is that at the bottom of it all, it is still just a soft, cuddly teddy bear as well. So, you know, you can be strong and confident and dominant, but you can also be that sweet little teddy bear that just wants to cuddle as well. So kind of really like that. And the outcome for you, we see the house. Solid, steady, comfort. You know, the same as that comfort that we saw for you here in the future. All right, the comfort card and the house are very, very similar energy. It's that safety, you know, feeling safe, feeling, you know, treasured, feeling like this is family, feeling like this is where I belong. You know, this is home to me. This is, you know, secure. It keeps me steady. You know, it's where I can feel safe to shut the whole world out around me and just be here and having fun, you know. So it's a very positive energy for you there as well, Taurus. So seeing a very sort of positive energy for you overall there, Taurus. But that's what we are seeing. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Geminis. Pardon me. Okay. Gemini, what's going on for Gemini when it comes to love? starting off with past, present, future energy for Gemini when it comes to love or this connection. Past, present, future. All right. And Gemini, the truth that you are avoiding. Gemini, the truth that Gemini is avoiding, the challenging aspect for Gemini and or this connection, please. All right. And then looking for your advice and the outcome for you here. Okay, advice for Gemini in love and the outcome for Gemini in love. I do actually want to just straight away grab an extra card for the advice card for Gemini. Just clarify the advice energy for Gemini, please. Advice for Gemini when it comes to love or this connection. Why are we seeing that? All right. Okay. So the past energy we see here for you is romance. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of dream kind of energy here. This is like, you know, you dreamt of a certain type of romance in the past, and, you know, keeping the spark alive by rekindling your passion. That for a lot of you, you felt in the past there was a lot of, you know, romance meant it had to look a certain way. You can kind of see that's very Cinderella at the ball, Dancing with Prince Charming, you know, that you had this idea of romance in the past, that you thought that, you know, passion and the sparks could only fly under certain circumstances. And, you know, if things weren't meeting your preconceived, you know, criteria, that you were kind of telling yourself, oh, well, that's not romantic enough. That's not right. So therefore it's not right. You know, so you're kind of wanting to be Cinderella or Prince Charming at the ball, in order for you to understand that that's romance. Whereas, you know, you may have encountered romance in completely other ways and dismissed it because you're like, it didn't fit. It wasn't at the ball. And I wasn't, you know, I didn't have a fairy godmother there with, you know, giving me nice shoes or whatever. So it mustn't be romance. That must be just lust or something. You know, you kind of have discounted romance in the past because it didn't fit your idea of what romance should be. But I feel like that's something that you're now a little bit more aware of, that sometimes the sparks aren't the fairy tale. Sometimes the passion doesn't fit into, you know, a love movie, like a love story. Sometimes it's completely different and it hits you in the weirdest moments, you know, maybe in the least expected place. The least romantic place is maybe where you have found sparks and you've discounted them because you're like, oh, no, this setting is not right. So I'm just picking up on that strongly there, Gemini. The present energy, we have the wishes coming through. All right, so it's probably a little bit of where that dream energy is coming from here. Prayers are answered and your wish is granted. All right, so here comes that fairy godmother coming in at the present to maybe make you understand that the romance that you have been given in the past was still romance, that your wishes have been, you know, answered. Just sometimes the universe likes to answer them in ways that aren't obvious. Does that make sense? But, you know, at the moment, you know, you are having wishes granted when it comes to love or to this connection. Your prayers are being heard. All right. So now is a really good time for you to be manifesting certain things when it does come to love or your connections for yourself. And especially moving forward into the future, because we do see illumination. Once again, I'm getting all these different vibes here, right? So I've got Cinderella at the ball. Then we've got, you know, that always reminds me of fairies because of Tinkerbell. If anyone's ever seen Tinkerbell, it's like what are they? The wish, we just call them the wish flowers, but what are they? Dandelion puffs that you blow and you make a wish. They, in the Tinkerbell movies, at the very start of the very first Tinkerbell movie, this is how fairies are born. You know, a child giggles and a dandelion puff flies out across, you know, and one of them lands at Pixie Hollow, and then the little puff, like, not the whole thing, but just one little thing, turns upside down and turns into a fairy, and that is how a fairy is born. It becomes her little skirt, all right? So that always reminds me of Tinkerbell. And then we've got Beauty and the Beast coming through with the candlesticks, right? So what in the Disney is this? All right, I've got a lot of Disney kind of fairy tale energy coming through for you. What you could not see before becomes clear. So this is where you're really starting to understand that your wishes have been answered, but sometimes they haven't been in the ways that you thought they would have been answered. So this is where you're sort of looking back and realizing that, you know, oh, that was romantic, but it, you know, at the time I discounted it. I didn't think it was romantic at all. But well, that actually was really romantic. Interesting. The truth that you've been avoiding, the challenging aspect, you can't vibe your way out of accountability. All right. Crystals can't replace common sense, responsibility, ownership, and maturity. All right. That you can't just vibe your way out. You can't just wish your way out of still actually standing up and taking responsibility for the role that you played in discounting the romance. Just because you say your little vision of what romance looked like wasn't matched doesn't mean that it wasn't romantic. All right. So there's something about that coming through there with that card. Crystals can't replace common sense. You know what crystals can do, though? Just getting that image of, is it like a meme or something? And it's, crystals can do a lot because, you know, here's this rose quartz, and, you know, a lot of people say this is for love and restful energy, and, you know, it helps promote self-healing. But it's also going to hurt if I pegged it really hard at someone's head. The advice that you're being given, okay, Gemini, we see the mice card. So I did want to clarify that, and I have clarified that with the letter and the tree. So this is really, you know, because the mice card really is about the past, and it's about the things that you have lost, because you've kind of, once again, it's giving that same energy of I've discounted something because it didn't fit the box that I put it in. It didn't fit the box that I tried to put it in, so therefore I dismissed it, and therefore I lost that opportunity, or I had that taken from me because I didn't appreciate what I had when I had it. Once again, that's where we're needing to take accountability. So your advice here is actually to look to the past. All right, the things that still sort of niggle away in the back of your head about your past experiences with love and in relationships, all right? Because with the letter and the tree here, this is expression and communication with oneself, with one healing and growth, all right, with maturity. So you're communicating within your own self here. You're looking back at the past and, you know, expressing, you know, a new view, a new perspective, right? You've grown and you've matured. And so now that you're looking back at the past, your perspective is different. You're no longer, you know, back when you were in, you know, when you were in this mice energy, you were just a small sapling, but now you're a giant tree who's healed and grown and matured and grown so much more wise. So you're kind of communicating with your own past here, and you know, going, you know, renewing. It's kind of giving that, you know, the seasons of the tree kind of thing, that, you know, you need to shed your old leaves in order to grow new ones. And so, you know, combined with you taking accountability here, and you're actually like communicating with yourself about, okay, well, hang on, that thing that's been eating away at me for the last 10 years about that thing that happened in that relationship, I'm now going to have a much more mature perspective on that, and I'm going to communicate to myself that, oh, okay, now I understand that differently. And so that's your advice, is to actually look to the past and basically, commune with your past, and see what can be learnt from the past, when it comes to love, and especially your idea of romance seems to be strong here. And that's where in the future we do start to move towards that illumination, and things starting to sort of click, 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 make sense. The outcome energy, we have the Bear. All right, so healthy boundaries, standing tall and strong and firm in your power, in your strength, very confident energy, very, I'm not going to take shit, but I'm also, going to be sweet and cuddly and nurturing as well. I'm going to be all of it. That I'm this bear, so I can be that rough grizzly bear that is protective when I need to be, but I'm also going to be that soft teddy bear when I need to nurture and grow things as well. So we definitely see a kind of positive outcome here, where healthy boundaries coming into play, and protecting, your wishes, protecting your own wishes when it comes to what you wish for things to look like in the future here. But you're sort of standing your ground, where it comes to sort of understanding things and taking accountability, and really sort of understanding, where I've been is and now how much I've grown from that and learnt from that as well. Okay, Gemini, so that's what we're seeing for you today. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We will move on over to our Cancers. Pardon. Okay, Cancer. Cancer, starting off with past, present, and future for Cancer when it comes to love and or your connection. Cancer, what does Cancer need to know? Let's see the past, the present, and the future of love energy for our Cancers, please. Strong energy, Cancer. I like this for you. All right, looking at the truth that you are avoiding, Cancer. The truth that Cancer avoids when it comes to love. The challenging aspect for our Cancers, please. All right, the advice and outcome for Cancer. Advice for Cancer with love and or this connection. And the outcome for you, Cancer. Ooh, I really like this. It's got a really good energy, Cancer. So there's a good energy when it comes to love around you right now. I like that. The past energy that we're seeing for you here, we have the Rooted card. Okay, so a strong foundation there. Stand your ground and know that you are connected. So, coming from a very, a past where you have stood your ground and you have stayed connected and, very solid in your beliefs and what you will and will not put up with, even though, even when you haven't, even when you feel as though you haven't been that way, you have been very connected and very, grounded within the ideals of love and within, what love should be and will be for you here. And so I feel like, that's why a lot of the time when things haven't worked out for you in the past, you've kind of already known that intuitively, that things just weren't quite right because, you felt like it was trying to knock you off balance, and try in that it was challenging your beliefs when it came to love and things like that. So And you questioned yourself a lot, I think, in the past. But it was because you were so grounded within your own self, and the ideal of love within you that made you question things, I think, Cancer. The current energy we see for you here, we have stability. So we're seeing that rooted energy, still quite stable here. Remain steady on course as you pursue your dreams. So whether or not you have met your person yet, you are on course. You are nice and stable, steady as she goes, as they sort of think that you're already on the right path to get what you dream about here when it comes to love, that your ideals are not unrealistic, that you're on the right course to have those met. All right, the future energy, we have wise decisions. Take extra care when choosing your next steps. All right, so it's about in the future just needing to be careful that you stay on course, because you're coming from such a grounded energy that you're needing to stay in that grounded energy moving forward, that you're needing to, balance your head and your heart. You're not sort of making any wild, rash decisions. All right, so I do feel as though when we're seeing that coming through, I do feel as though there may be something coming up in the near future that is kind of it feels like a rash decision. It feels like something completely different to anything that you would have chosen before. And I feel like it's like wild. Like it really does feel like and it's very like it does feel like you're making the conscious choice to do something crazy when it comes to love. It's kind of like I'm going to throw all my eggs into this basket, even though I know that this basket is falling apart, and all those eggs are going to fall straight out. I'm going to throw all my eggs in there anyway. So I actually feel as though this is you making a conscious decision to maybe getting. It is telling me specific storylines here. It is telling me that you're maybe getting involved with somebody that you know for a fact that it's never going to work with. There's too much difference between you and this person. They're like totally different. Like it's kind of like, you're a hardcore Christian and they're a hardcore, total opposite religion of that. They're like, they're fully against, they're an atheist or something, and you're a hardcore Christian and whatnot, or whatever. Like it's something, you're dating someone outside of your culture, and you know that they would never be accepted into your family. Or I am actually getting here too for someone that it's kind of like you're choosing to date somebody that you are aware that they have a severe addiction, and that is not going to work for you. So why would you choose to date them? Because I'm not feeling like, and I'm feeling that whatever this conscious decision that you may be tempted to make, it's not because you love this person. It doesn't feel like it's because you love this person. It feels like, it kind of feels like doing something out of spite, or doing something just to be different. Like it's a bit weird. I'm not gonna lie. So don't go and do the crazy thing just to do the crazy thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a dare. Dating someone just because of a dare. Like someone says to you, "Oh, Cancer, you would never date someone that was this and this and this," and you're like, "Oh, okay, watch me." And then you go and find someone who's this and this and this just because you were told that would not have that. Could never imagine you doing that, Cancer. And so it's kind of like a don't do things like that, Cancer. It's not it's not going to make you happy. So why would you do that? So make the clever decision to stay on your path. You're already on course for what you actually want here. You don't need to go and do these rash, weird things just because. It feels like a just because I'm bored kind of thing. Like just because I got dared. It could be because of this. The truth that you avoid, the challenging aspect here, we have that wasn't intuition. It was anxiety in a cape. Look at that. Stop. Stop cosplaying fear as guidance. Anxiety, self-awareness, and perception. All right, so it's like, that's what that wise decision might be, is that you have a fear of actually chasing what you want. You know, you have a fear of actually getting what you want, staying on the course because that's what you want. You have a fear that it'll never happen. So you just take something out of, you just take something just because it's there, out of your fear that I'm never going to get what I want. So I may as well just go with that since it's on offer, But that's anxiety screaming, all right? And it's not your intuition telling you to go and be with this addict. It's I'm nervous that I'm never going to find anyone else, and this person wants to be with me, so I'm just going to go to them. So just be careful of that. Make sure you have awareness and perception. You're not allowing yourself to misguide yourself out of fear. All right. Your advice we have is the birds here. So that's that wisdom. Once again, the birds are quite often shown as the owl in this as well. But this is, take care with yourself. Talk things through. For some of you, you may, this is my therapy card as well. So you may actually want to go and speak to your therapist about, how do I overcome these fears that I have about not meeting the person, or not, this isn't the right person. There's some underlying fears there, some underlying anxieties that you're allowing to steer the ship at the moment, or in the near future. So for some of you, you may want to talk to, a therapist or something along those lines, get some advice, talk it out with, even if that's just with a friend or something. Talk it out. Those of you who do have a partner, talk it out with your partner, communicate, have the conversation about, look, this is really, on my mind. I'm fearful of this. I'm worried that I'm going to, make bad decisions when it comes to me and you, because I have this underlying fear that you're going to leave me, or whatever that is, So talk it out. The outcome. We have the stars. All your wishes come true, Cancer. All your dreams become reality. What could be better outcome than the stars? All right. Your goals being met. Happiness. All right. This is your wishes coming true. All right. Everything coming up, Cancer, here, that things can work out. And, that, especially here, we saw that in the present energy. Stay steady on course as you pursue your dreams. You stay steady on that course. Look at that. There's those dreams that you've been pursuing being reached, coming into your reality. All right. So definitely stay the course. It's definitely, the wisest decision for you, Cancer. All right. So that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Leo. Okay, Leo, what's going on for Leo with love? Starting off with past, present, and future for Leo. Leo in love, past, present, future for Leo in love, and or your connection, Leo. Okay, then we'll grab the truth that you avoid, the challenging aspect. Leo, the truth that you avoid, Leo, in love and or your connection. Someone else has already had that same card, actually. And then the advice and outcome for our Leos, please. Love and connection for Leo, advice and outcome. Just clarify that outcome, please. Okay. All right, Leo. So starting off with the past energy for you, we have the journey card coming through. You travel or discover a new path, a new side path to explore. So, you know, this kind of shows us that for those of you where you are currently in a connection, there may have been a side path, a temptation along the way where, you know, I feel like for those of you where you are already in a connection, that this may not have even been an actual, you know, person as a side path. It may have just been sort of this idea of, you know, what would happen if, you know, things were different. It's just like an envisioning, I suppose, for some of you here. For those of you who aren't in a current connection, this is kind of like you've traveled a path that, you know, in the past, you've kind of been distracted from the goal. All right, when it comes to love, that you've been distracted from the goals of what you actually want in love, and you've kind of found all these side quests and gotten distracted doing those and fulfilling those. And I'm picking up strongly for someone there, like a karmic energy in the past here, where you maybe have gone down the path of, you know, oh, you know, that you knew that it went against what you actually wanted in love, but you still went there anyway and found yourself in like a bad relationship or a situationship or whatever. So I'm picking up on that there. The present energy, we do have prosperity. All right. You steadily build your wealth for the future. So at the moment, maybe that side path is continuing for some of you, because at the moment you do seem to be a little bit more focused on, you know, career, material gain, prosperity, rather than love itself. But, you know, this could actually be building the wealth of knowledge of what you're wanting for your future, sort of still trying to, you know, fine tooth what it is that, you know, fine tooth comb through what it is that you actually want in love and what you're actually aiming for. You kind of you know, fine tuning what you're building when it comes to your idea of potential love for yourself here. And for those of you who are currently in connections, you know, that is just steadily building wealth together. So both of you may be sort of focused on, you know, what do we need to build this connection in a material level, to bring together. All right. The future energy, we see gentle coming through here. All right. Be kind to yourself and allow yourself to grow. All right. So there is some growth coming through in the near future here, you know, which we kind of already saw that there with the prosperity. You're steadily growing your wealth for the future. And then in the future, we see yourself allowing yourself to grow and, you know, heal what needs to be healed within yourself and allowing things to sort of come into more fullness moving forward in the future there. The truth that you are avoiding, Leo, we do have delete the text, block the number, reclaim your peace. Okay, delete, let your thumbs rest, closure, detachment, and release. All right, so for a lot of you, that is that side path that we're needing to release here. Where there you go, it was Taurus that had this energy as well. It just sort of came to me when I said that. It's closure and detaching from past energies that aren't serving you or haven't served you. It's kind of releasing those energies and allowing, you know, once again, allowing yourself to grow and move forwards, rather than, you know, dwelling on things that haven't worked. You're sort of focusing on the things that you want to work. All right, which is exactly what I'm seeing here with your advice position. We have the stars coming through as your advice. So focus on the goals. Focus on what it is that you wish for, what you desire, your hopes and dreams for the future. All right, you're focusing on those. And the more that you have hope and optimism that you will reach the stars and all your wishes will come true, the more that they will. All right, so it's very important for you right now to sort of focus on what it is that you wanting to gain in the future. Focus on the wish, on the dream, the end goal. All right, and you can always work your way back from there. All right, so rather than focusing on the past, we're focusing on the future of what we want. The outcome, we do have the scythe coming through first. I clarified that with the dog energy here as well. So the scythe as an outcome, it's kind of talking about, a harvest for a lot of you. This is, the phrase, there is this phrase coming through, reaping what you sow is what's coming through, that, if this is what you're sowing, that's what you end up with. If you're avoiding the closure and the release of things that don't serve you, that's what you're sowing. So you're needing to, really notice what you're avoiding here, and the challenging aspect that you have when it comes to love and relationships here, that, you may, be tempted to stir up the past. It does say delete the text, block the number. So for some of you, you may be kind of trying to rehash the past, and you're avoiding the fact that, you just need to let that go, rather than, messaging someone and saying you were such a hole or whatever, it's just something along those lines. Don't go backwards, go forwards, seems to be wanting to come here. So breaking free from those sorts of energies, and focusing on what you're wishing to harvest here, the wishes and the goals. All right. And breaking free from that negativity and the wrong pathways for yourself here, breaking free from the things that don't serve you. It becomes a harvest. All right, you're taking sudden decisive action as an outcome here, to focus on forwards and to cut yourself free from the things that don't serve you, and move towards this harvest, which is, loyalty, support, dependability, the strong elements of, relying on friends, but also relying on, the compassion and support of a potential partner here as an outcome. That's the harvest. That's what you will gain, a loyalty to oneself as well, and supporting positivity and supporting those dreams, staying loyal to the dreams, rather than allowing these past energies to sort of creep back in on you there, Leo. All right, so that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. We will move on over to our Virgos. Pardon me. Virgo, what's going on for Virgo when it comes to love? Love and your connection, Virgo. Virgo, past, present, future for Virgo in love and or this connection. All right, and then we're going to look at the truth that Virgo is avoiding in love, the challenging aspect you're faced with in love. Virgo, the truth that you are avoiding. All right, and then we will grab out your advice and outcome. Okay, Virgo, love energy, love and or this connection for our Virgos, please. Advice for Virgo with love and the outcome for Virgo with love. All right, awesome. Relatively straightforward messages for you, Virgo. We do see illumination coming through from the past here. So things have become clearer for you. You may have received some sort of clarity in the recent past when it comes to ideals of love, or something that has happened in the past. You're sort of seeing things clearly for what they are. It does say what you could not see before becomes clear. All right, so there may be something that, I really do feel as though this is the truth that you've been avoiding as well. All right, I'm going to jump straight to that, because it does feel that there does seem to be a very strong connection here. The truth that you've been avoiding, we have your brain is not Google, stop refreshing. All right, anxiety, overthinking, obsession. Obsessing won't update the results. So I do feel as though this is something about the past here, that you've been, maybe you were getting a little bit obsessive, you were overthinking something, you were having a lot of anxiety and trying to constantly seek more answers, more clarity, more answers, more clarity on a situation from the past. For some of you, you may have even been, it does say your brain is not Google, stop refreshing, and obsessing won't update the results. So it kind of does lean to, for some of you, not all of you, only about maybe 20% of you, I feel, that you may have been, keeping tabs on somebody online as well. And that was where the obsession was kind of prevalent. But you've kind of seen clearly now that what you couldn't see initially there, you are sort of now starting to understand it. It's become illuminated for you, especially here too, that in the present energy, we see commitment coming through. Look at the cute little lovebirds in that card, Virgo. I'm thinking about getting lovebirds. What do you guys reckon? Should I get lovebirds, or I'm thinking about getting birds? I've got to get a cage and all that first, but me and my son have been thinking about getting birds, actually. Your dedication deepens your experience together. All right, so a lot of you, Virgo, are either committing or recommitting to somebody in the present energy here. So for some of you, and for those of you who do not have anyone on your mind here, this is kind of a commitment to yourself, that you want commitment, that you want to experience life with somebody rather than alone. And for those of you who are already in a connection, there is, a strengthening of that commitment in the present energy. The future energy, we see the life force card coming through, all right, which is where Virgo shines, is this energy, all right? Virgo really, really shines with this energy. It does say you are expressing your creativity and sexuality. All right, so it's not just sexuality, it's sensuality as well. All right, so for some of you, this is, getting creative in the bedroom. For some reason, it's telling me bringing food into the bedroom. So, maybe pulling out the whipped cream or something like that, but exploring your sensuality and, I suppose testing that commitment in some way. Some of you may be trying new things and having new experiences together. For a lot of you, on a very sexual level, but for others of you, it could just be creative as well. That I'm getting like an energy here of just it's like it's a sensual, creative thing. Like I'm feeling like maybe like someone like doing like nice boudoir photos for their partner, or someone asking to draw or paint their partner and focusing. I'm seeing like this picture, actually, sort of like that, of just the lips, very sensual, like you just focused in on just the lips, and you're just drawing your partner's lips, and maybe even obsessively as well for some of you there. Your advice is the birds. Okay, so it's giving us a nod to that commitment card there as well. Look at that image there. It's almost identical with the way that those birds are sitting. All right, so but the birds does talk about communication, conversations. It's your advice is to have the conversations that you need to have, especially conversations about where is this commitment going, because it's about commitment, seems to be the prevalent energy here. Maybe even for some of you, there may be this energy of wanting to have the conversation with somebody about what has been illuminated to you about yourself when it comes to the ideals of love, where you want to go, being open to talk about the creative side of yourself that you wish to explore in the future. So I'm getting, for some of you, Virgo, it's about trying new things in the bedroom in the future, and that we're having the conversations about what do you think about this, and how do you think that's going to go down. So definitely have the talk. For those of you, that seems to be the advice here, Virgo, is have the talk, have the conversations, communicate with people around you about what it is that you're wanting in love or in commitments. All right. The outcome, we see the dog. Strong loyalty, support. All right. This is that person that is there for you, who's going to walk by your side for the rest of your life, kind of energy. So it's kind of that energy of like, even if the love side of things doesn't work, that this person is still going to be an important part of your life, regardless, that this person they got your back. You know, they've got your back. You're ride or die kind of energy, Virgo. That loyal energy, dependable energy that you know you can rely on this person to be there for you. All right, so definitely solid energy for you there, Virgo. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. We will move on over to our Libras. Okay. Libra, right on the hour. Right on the hour, Libra. Okay. I always forget in my own brain, like, I'm going to do a long reading today, but then I forget the actual amount of time that takes. Libra. So we're halfway through and we're at the hour mark. So we'll see how we go. All right, Libra. What's going on for our Libra when it comes to love and or this connection? Past, present, future for Libra with love. All right, so interesting energy there, Libra. The truth that Libra is avoiding, the challenging aspect of love for our Libra, please. That's going to be a soft shuffle for you there, Libra. I don't know what that's all about. And then the advice and outcome energy for Libra when it comes to love and or this connection. Libra. Oh, and just clarify that outcome for Libra, please. I'll actually get one on each side of that for clarity, please. Clarify the outcome for Libra when it comes to love. On this side and then on this side. Yep, okay. I love it when it makes sense immediately. As soon as I glimpse at the cards, it makes sense. The path we're seeing for you here, Libra, is comfort. All right. Take refuge in your love and enjoy what you have. All right. So it feels like for a lot of you, you know, especially those of you who are already in a connection, there's become, you know, like this safety comfort zone in your connection. Especially, you know, in the recent past, it has just become very comfortable. All right. And you, Libra, you're kind of somebody who sometimes when things get comfortable, you tell yourself that comfortable equals boring or safety equals boring and comfort means stuck. But that's not always the case. And I think you're realizing that now because you're looking back. All right, we have the looking back card for your present energy. Review the past for clues on how to move forward. And so I feel like for a lot of you, what's kind of happened here is you have had comfort in the past when it comes to love. And it's kind of like peace. And, you know, there's just something there about comfort is uncomfortable. The peace is sometimes uncomfortable for you, Libra. And it's like when things are too peaceful, you know, my brain kind of tells me that it's too good to be true. So I have to find some way to add a bit of crazy in and then things go crazy. Like it's like, you know, when things are too comfortable, I bring the crazy in, but then it's crazy and it's like, oh, okay, now I'm looking back going, oh, revisiting, oh, look how comfortable things used to be. Why can't things be like that anymore? And then you end up in this like cycle of like comfort, and then comfort is like, no, I need crazy, and there's no middle ground. It's like, you know, it's too crazy, it's too comfortable, flipping between the two here. So you're currently in that energy of looking back at the peace and the comfort going, oh, what happened to that? Why are things not feeling comfortable anymore? And it's kind of like, what did we do, Libra, to make things uncomfortable? I can kind of see the answer immediately, because the truth that you're avoiding, the challenging aspect we see here, right at the top of this card, it says, don't trust chaos. All right. So the truth that you've been avoiding is that, there's a part of you that feels more safety in the chaos than in the comfort. And now you're kind of here in the middle of that going, oh, I don't want the chaos. I don't trust the chaos. But when I was comfortable, I didn't trust the comfort. And maybe I should have. All right. So the truth that we're avoiding there, it does say, stop trying to heal in the same place that broke you. Don't recycle heartbreak like plastic bottles. Cycles, escape, and liberation. All right. So like I said, with that chaos versus the comfort zone, and you're kind of stuck in this cycle now, this loop of chaos, comfort, chaos, comfort. There's been no middle ground. So you're kind of stuck in this cycle now. So you're needing to escape, break free from that cycle, liberate yourself from being, stuck in that cycle, which, moving forward in the future, we see transformation, transform. You have the power to make profound changes. So you yourself have the power to change this cycle into something different completely. Get rid of the cycle and find what the middle ground is for you. It's not chaos, it's not comfort, but there is a middle ground there somewhere. And that's the transformation that you're moving towards in the near future here, Libra. So you alone seem to have the power to make the changes necessary to do that. All right. Your advice, we have the key. Open up to opportunities. All right. So, especially the opportunity to make the changes necessary here. Open yourself up to taking chances and opportunities and, stepping through new doors, even if that's not what you're used to. You've become used to the comfort. You've become used to the chaos. So now it's time to open the door to something different altogether. All right. When we see the outcome for you, it feels like it works, all right? Whatever you're doing here, whatever you're opening yourself up to, whatever opportunities you're taking to transform this situation, it looks like it works, all right? Because for the outcome, we see the scythe. On one side of that scythe, we have the mice. So, you're breaking free from the past. You're breaking free from the stress of this cycle, this pattern. You're breaking free from that. You're cutting that out and breaking the loop, basically. And then on the other side of this profound change, which, that's what that card says, is you have the power to make profound change. And that's pretty much what the scythe is all about. Profound changes. Breaking free from something in order to, change and transform and heal and grow. All right. Mature. Become wiser in your decisions when it comes to love. All right. So that you don't need to, you no longer need to look back to the past anymore. You're breaking free from that, releasing that. All right. So you're liberating yourself from the past. You're escaping the past. You're no longer recycling, the chaos loop. All right. We're breaking free and we're making sudden changes that lead us to healing and growth of our connection or of ourself when it comes to love. All right. So that is actually a really nice outcome, showing that, you're on the right path. You're doing the right things. You're just sort of in the process at the moment of, moving towards this transformation here, where you are going to make these changes for yourself or for your relationship. Okay, Libra. So that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements. Definitely subscribe to the channel. We will move on over to our Scorpios. Getting our timestamp there. Okay, Scorpio, hang on, I've just realized I put 110 instead of 109. Oh my goodness, Scorpio. So we'll go 109.15. Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. What's going on for Scorpio in love and or your connection? Scorpio, past, present, future for Scorpio with love or your connection. Moving on to the truth that you avoid, Scorpio. What is the truth that Scorpio avoids in love or this connection, please? I believe it was Virgo had that same one. And the advice or outcome for Scorpio. The advice and outcome for Scorpio when it comes to love and or your connection, please. Advice for Scorpio and the outcome for Scorpio. Okay, yeah, I like that. We can roll with that, Scorpio. Scorpio, in the past energy we're seeing for you here, we have genuine. All right, that taking off your mask and being your authentic self. So this is obviously something that you have struggled in the past when it comes to relationships, to not be your authentic self, to not, and I feel like for some of you, it's like when you have been your authentic self, you feel as though you've been like too much, or, people haven't been able to handle that, or it's led to issues. So you've felt the need to like not be, to kind of people please a little bit, which is odd to say to a Scorpio that you maybe have been people pleasing in the past. But it's like just not being 100% genuine to yourself. I feel like for a lot of you, it's kind of like to do with what you have kind of accepted as, okay, well, when you first meet someone and you sort of say to each other, this is what I want in a relationship. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is the mask that you've been putting on, is that, oh yeah, I agree with you kind of energy, that you haven't maybe stood up 100% for, no, but this is what I want in a relationship. And I don't want to tolerate these little games that you're talking about. I feel like someone here, I'm reading you as the feminine, rather than, regardless of your gender. The masculine energy has kind of said, well, I don't want anything serious. And Scorpio's gone, yeah, okay, we'll see how things go. And you've kind of been hoping for long term with someone who has said, I don't want anything serious. So you've maybe not fully revealed that, well, do you know what? I actually want long-term commitment, or, or a situation could be reversed, if that's for you. But that's what it kind of feels like. So maybe just needing to be a little bit more genuine. I do just sort of intuitively feel like you have let the mask off a little bit more now. That's past energy. Your present energy, it does seem like you have taken that mask off, and you're not sort of, it's kind of like no more effing around, Scorpio says to me. The current energy we have is integrity. Be sure that your motives are pure before proceeding. So once again, you're making sure that we're on the same page, that we both have the same, pure intentions here, and we're on the same page with that you're being pure in the way that you're representing yourself. You're being honest to yourself with the way that you're representing yourself. You're holding your integrity as important, which is, fantastic. The future energy we see here, we have sovereignty. Sovereign energy. You draw upon inner strength to overcome. Okay, so not gonna lie, like, this is independence. This is like not being afraid to be my own strength and be, because it's sometimes the messages come through in weird little offhand statements. It's coming through saying, that saying, behind every great man is a great woman. But you're kind of turning around going, but I can be a great woman all by myself. I don't need to stand behind no man, as I'm hearing. And it may be relevant to somebody, but I am hearing that in a Black American voice. I don't need no man. Okay, so that may be relevant to somebody there, but it's in the future that you're standing on business kind of thing, that you're standing up for yourself and you're not taking any ish, that you're like, I can do it all by myself. I don't need you. I can do it myself. I can be, strong all by myself. I don't necessarily need you. Does that mean that I don't want you? Doesn't make a difference. I might want you, but I don't need you because I can do it all by myself. That I'm a queen in my own right. Once again, regardless of gender, I'm just using you as the example of as feminine as the example. All right. So, king, queen, whatever. I'm, strong all by myself. I can do it all by myself. I don't actually need someone to back me up. I can actually do that anyway. But, it'd be nice to have someone to back me up. Sure. But it's not like a codependency anymore. I feel like in the past, for some of you, there may have been this codependency issue in the past for some of you as well. And that's why we're seeing that sovereign energy where you're really sort of taking control of your own self. And, I don't really need anyone to back me. I know I've got myself covered, but it would be nice to have someone to back me. All right. So it's kind of that the difference of that it's not actually, I'm not depending on somebody else to back me or be my front spokesperson either, so however that resonates for you. But we do see here the truth that you are avoiding, the challenging aspect. Okay, we have the anxiety little person here. Stop cosplaying fear as guidance. That wasn't your intuition. That was anxiety in a cape. All right, so you're telling yourself, oh, but I feel like I should go this direction. I feel like I should be with that person. Is it just because your fear is taking over and saying, go for that person because you need someone? Once again, it's giving that codependency a little bit again. That there has been some codependency issues for you, Scorpio, and that's what the part of the truth that you've been avoiding is the codependency, because your anxiety is like, I need someone. Anxiety, self-awareness, and perception. All right. So it's kind of this fear that if I don't have someone, I'll have no one. But moving forward in the future, we're seeing that is definitely not the case. If I don't have someone, I've still got myself. All right. So there is a bit of a change within you, coming for you there, Scorpio. The advice we're seeing for you is the lily. Take care of your physical health. For some of you, there may be the need to, just pay attention to your physical health right now. But this is about looking long term. This is being kinder to yourself and, allowing yourself to be honest with yourself about, the fears and the anxieties and, the masks that you've worn in the past, the codependency issues. It's being honest with yourself and being, very open and vulnerable with yourself on an emotional level. But it's also about your advice is to, focus on the future and focus on what do I want long term? What do I, when I get to the end of my life, what do I want to look back and say my life has had and been and held in it? So what do I actually want to bring into my life that is something that I can hold from now until that day comes? I'm not, I feel like for a lot of you, this is the advice is to focus on the things that are going to be here long term, not things that could just disappear overnight. We're looking at what's going to stay solid and we can have a very strong intimacy with long term. All right, like especially emotionally, being our full selves with somebody, that kind of thing, and have that integrity and that purity of knowing that I'm being my full self because I'm prepared to be here by your side forever, kind of thing. The outcome we see for you here, we have the Tower and the Ring. I feel like, this is, once again, it's that strong backbone. It's that sovereign energy again with the Tower, standing strong and tall and knowing that you now are building solid foundations for relationships. All right, we see the ring there. You're breaking any negative cycles, and you're standing tall and strong and proud of yourself for the way that you deal with relationships moving forward into the future here. As your outcome, that you're sort of, the foundation is strong, therefore the relationship will be strong as well. And I've broken cycles that I needed to break. I know I can stand tall by myself, but once again, it's that same energy I was getting before with that sovereign, that I've got the strength to stand tall and strong all by myself. But yeah, it's nice to have a relationship to build that with. It's not something that I necessarily need. I'm a tower. I'm strong all by myself. But it's good to have a relationship, with another tower or another couple, because then we can be a castle. So why not? That kind of coming through there as the main message for you, Scorpio. So that is what we are seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. We will move on over to Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius, looking at love and all your connections. Sagittarius, starting off with past, present, and future energy for Sagittarius when it comes to love or this connection. All right, the truth that you avoid, Sagittarius. Challenging aspect of love and or connection for Sagittarius, please. And then we will grab out your advice and outcome. Sagittarius, the advice and outcome for Sagittarius with love and or this connection. Sagittarius, advice and outcome. Ooh, I see a smooth flow kind of thing here, Sagittarius. Starting off with the past energy, we have temptation coming through. All right, your integrity is being tested, so resist straying. So in the past, I feel like for a lot of you, this is the recent past. So this may still be kind of an ongoing thing for a lot of you. Don't mind me. So it's kind of like something trying to pull you off your path when it comes to love or the connection that you are currently in, if that is the case. It's kind of like, I'm hearing the phrase temptation to misbehave. So for some of you, there's like this, like do things that are against your morals when it comes to love and relationships, or it doesn't need to be a lot of the time when we think of temptation when it comes to love, we think of another person entering the scene, but it could also just be things like the temptation to not focus on love at all and focus on other areas of your life, and divert your attention from love or from the path that you're on towards love. So going for that person even when you know that they're not right for you, or whatever. All right. The present energy, we do see the wise decision card, which is about taking extra care when choosing the next steps. So, that's why it feels like this temptation is still very kind of prevalent here, that it's trying to sort of put that into the past. It is coming through in the past position, but this shows us that you still maybe haven't completely made up your mind on that you maybe still, it's kind of like, I do feel that for someone here, it's like you've heard from, someone that has said to you that I'm interested in you, Sagittarius, and you haven't closed that door completely on them. You've got that backup plan person kind of energy. That's what that's telling. And it's like, oh, I could I could at any moment, I could go and stray over to this path, but, it's time to actually make that choice to cut that energy off completely and release that, because that that's just a temptation, to steer you off your true path here. It's not exactly where you want to actually be going here. Especially with the future energy, we see awareness coming through, all right, which is all about take time to be fully present in the moment. So, taking extra care to move wisely towards being in the moment and enjoying the moments that you have, rather than focusing on, oh, what else could I have here, or what could I, because I feel like with this, for a lot of you, it's like, I don't want to completely let go of this option, because it's like, what if I miss out? Whereas this is sort of in the future telling us that, no, it doesn't matter if I miss out. I'm living this moment. I'm living this experience, this pathway, this choice. So it doesn't matter what the other pathways could have looked like. I'm bringing my awareness to the path that I'm actually on, rather than keeping backup plans handy or anything like that. All right. The truth that you avoid, the challenging aspect for you here, is that self-love looks good on you. Interesting. Best filter you'll ever wear is loving yourself. Confidence, glow, and attraction. So you're actually avoiding the fact that, it's kind of weird, because it's like you've become so comfortable, or, you're kind of surrounded by a lot of energy that's like, oh, I hate myself. I hate this about myself. But you're actually like not doing as badly as maybe you have in the past when it comes to self-love. That and you're avoiding that, because it's like, I kind of just get this energy of like, I don't want to be conceited. I don't want to think that, I'm all that and a bag of chips. But it looks good on you. It looks good on you. And that's, stop avoiding it kind of thing, Sagittarius, that, you self-love is self-love. It's not ego. It's not conceited to value yourself. But there's something that you're telling yourself that, oh, I don't, it's my ego. But it's like, why is it not okay for you to just actually love yourself? Why is that a bad thing? So there's just something about that coming through for you there. Must say it's probably one of the better challenging aspects we've seen today. Your advice: keep on healing, keep on growing, keep on going through the seasons and being present in whatever season you're currently in. We have the tree here, so your advice is to stay grounded in the present and just keep on growing, keep on glowing, keep on healing and maturing and being the beautiful tree that you are. All right, that it's like, what else could you be but a tree? I don't know why it's coming through in a very weird kind of way there, but it's like, you're for some reason I'm getting like patience with yourself, wisdom with yourself. Your advice here to bend but not break. The tree, it can have very strong winds, and it might snap a branch or two, but it even though when they bend and they're totally uprooted from their position, they're still not broken. You could, if you were a giant, you could literally lift that tree back up and replant it, and it would keep on going. All right. Even when lightning strikes a tree, they still quite often keep on growing, regardless of what's happened to them. And, they bend and they don't break. They bend with the wind rather than breaking. They don't go snap. They bend first, So your advice is to bend, go with the flow, just keep on growing and healing, and just keep kind of doing what you're doing. You've got that wisdom coming through for you there as well. The outcome for you here, we have the lily. All right. This is, being very emotionally intelligent. That moving forward in the future, you're being kinder to yourself. You're being kind and keeping to your morals, and you're focusing on the long term. It's a very kind of vulnerable energy, but it's very sweet energy as well. That it's like long term. It's like if you are already in a connection, this is like growing old with you kind of energy, attracting things into your life and healing and growing, to be the best version of yourself that you can be, and to carry those that growth with yourself long term. It's not things that are just going to change again overnight or anything like that. This is a healing that is going to be long term, and strong morals and kindness to yourself. All right. So the lily is a very long-term energy. So for those of you who are in a connection, this is the sort of connection that's going to last you into old age. It's kind of that, till death do us part kind of energy coming through with that there. Okay, Sagittarius. So that is what we are seeing for you. A lot of emotional intimacy there in the outcome for you. So I really like that. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements. Make sure you subscribe, and we will move on over to our Capricorns. Okay. All right. Capricorn, love. Looking at past, present, and future for Capricorns with love and or your connection, Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, past, present, future for love. Okay, and looking at the truth that you avoid, Capricorn. The challenging aspect of love for our Capricorns. My goodness. When I drew a card for myself earlier, it was this card. I am also a Capricorn, so obviously needed to be seen by all of us today. Capricorn, the advice and outcome for Capricorn in love. Love and or this connection for Capricorn, the advice and the outcome. Oh, okay. Clarify the outcome for Capricorn with love and or this connection. All right. All right, so Capricorn, the past energy we see here is sacred union. Geez, that looks like that Emilia Clarke out of Game of Thrones, the dragon mother of dragons. Sacred union, together you achieve an intimate state of oneness. So for a lot of you Capricorn, you have had a very strong sacred kind of union in the past. As to whether this is, ongoing, I'll leave that to you, because very, some of the collective are going to be single, some of you are going to be in a current connection, others of you, are in a connection, but you maybe even haven't met this person yet, or we're looking at, a past connection for some of you here. But we do have that sacred union, and for a lot of you, I feel like this is like a soul connection. So regardless of whether you've met this person already or not, you've met them, on the soul level. This union already existed. So we're looking at past life connections and things like that as well. All right. So for some of you, there has been, a past life where you do have this sacred union energy, and it's kind of like, I'm hearing the phrase for somebody here that you've been seeking something that you have only had in a past life, and you're kind of like, where is it? Like, and it's like you're looking for something, but you don't actually understand what it is that you're looking for, because it's something that you've only experienced in the past life, not in this actual lifetime. So very interesting, Capricorn. But good luck is on your side. We have Lady Luck in the present for you. Fortune gives you the golden touch now. So everything you touch turns to gold, Capricorn. For some of you, this actually may be you focusing on your financial freedom right now rather than love. But it's kind of also that, fortune favors the bold. You've got a lot of good luck right now when it comes to chasing the sorts of love that you want. And, I know we do always kind of say we chase, but we don't chase, we attract. But, I was listening to Archer Tarot, and he was talking about that, and it was kind of like, well, like if you're not willing to put in the work to ask for the things and chase the things that you know you deserve, sometimes you do need to chase a little bit. There's no such kind of thing as, sitting back and just hoping everything just falls into your lap. That sometimes, especially you as a Capricorn, you know that as well, that, good work equals good results. So putting in the work sometimes is necessary. It's not about chasing people unreasonably, but, being willing to take action and put in the work when necessary. That luck will follow you, as long as you're, asking for it to be on your side. It is there for you. Fortune gives you the golden touch. So once again, everything you touch turns to gold. So, it's not going to turn to gold unless you touch it, Capricorn. All right. So there is an element there of, you can't just sit back and expect everything to turn to gold around you. You actually need to touch it. The future energy here, comfort. Take refuge in your love and enjoy what you have. All right. So there is a lot of comfort in the near future when it comes to, I feel like for a lot of you, it's stability, and it's, finally having the safety of the person that you want in your life, as to, whether that is already the person that you already have, or, want, or whatever that is for you personally. It comes with this sense of comfort, this sense of peace, that, this is comfortable and this is exactly as it should be. It just feels right. And you can take refuge. You can take, it's like a safe haven, in your love and enjoying that. So there's reasons to enjoy the future when it comes to love. The truth you're avoiding, Capricorn, the challenging aspect. Closure isn't coming in a text. He owes you nothing but silence, acceptance, self-reliance, and reality. All right, so you are avoiding facing reality, and you're kind of still hoping to get a text from somebody for a lot of you here. And I don't even feel like, once again, it's coming back in that with that message of I don't chase, I attract, but sometimes you actually need to, put in a little bit of work at least, that, being self-reliant and fixing into reality is that, you can't just sit back and wait for a text if somebody hasn't got your number. If they haven't got your number, how are they supposed to text you? So, and if you haven't even met them yet, how are they supposed to text you? You're not just going to get a random text going, Capricorn, I think I'm your soulmate. Please, move in with me and we'll get married. Like, that's not how it works, right? And we all know that. Reality tells us that. But, there's just something here that's the truth that you're avoiding, is that, hang on, I've actually got to, meet people in order to meet someone. I've actually got to get out of the house and meet people if I actually want to meet somebody. I've actually got to date if I want to be dating. All right? I actually need to, put in, a little bit of the initial effort if I want someone to, come the other 50%. I need to put in 50% so that someone else can come 50% towards me. I'm not saying that you have to do everything, Capricorn. I'm not telling you to chase. It's about putting in a few little reality steps. Reality tells us that men don't fall from the sky unless, it's a Jerry Halliwell song. Is that who sung that? It was that was a cover, right? She sung it from someone else. There was a cover that she sung. I don't know. I'm talking about the Spice Girl, guys, for those of you who don't know. I'm pretty sure that she did a cover of that song, that It's Raining Men. Hallelujah. Which, side note, Capricorn, you guys will probably get this. What if it's raining men and let the bodies hit the floor are the same event from different perspectives? So, that's like a common meme that goes around. And this, the other song I'm referring to there is Bodies by Drowning Pool. Great band, if you, especially the first album, okay? If you're into that sort of music, that first album rocks. I really enjoyed it. Has a lot of personal meaning for me as well, so I do like that first album of Drowning Pools. Your advice, Capricorn, we have the Ring. This is the card of relationships, all right? But as an advice card here, this is you breaking free from cycles that have kept you trapped, patterns that have kept you trapped, but it is also committing, all right? Making the commitment that I will put in the minimum effort to have the love that I desire. That I'm not going to sit back and just wait for love to come to me, that I'm going to commit myself to pursuing love. I'm not going to chase it down the street, but I will pursue it. I will take action when necessary. And I'm committed to myself and to the type of relationship that I desire. All right, so we're breaking the cycles of the past, and we're not allowing ourselves to fall into that same loop again of the way that we've done things in the past, and we're creating new cycles of commitment within ourselves. That I'm committed to trusting that love will come for me, but I still need to put in the work to allow it to come. Does that make sense, Capricorn? The outcome. This was very interesting. This is why I clarified it, because the outcome we have here is the Whip. All right. So we've got a lot of keywords that run through with the Whip. All right. So trouble, tension, conflict, arguments. It can be like fighting yourself, like inner conflict, and self-punishment, self-flagellation, like beating yourself up over the way that you have been in the past. Beating yourself up that, oh, I'm not good enough. I do pick up a lot of self-insecurities come through with this Whip energy. It's kind of like arguing with yourself about, do I even deserve love? Do I, that kind of stuff. But that's why I felt it necessary to clarify, okay? Because when I've clarified, it's given us a little bit more information about what context that the conflict is. And then we see the Ship and the House coming through after that. So, the Ship immediately moves us away from the conflict, from the arguments, from the feeling shit, from, punishing ourselves, from, being punished, from love, I suppose, for some of you here. It's moving us away from the conflict and the tension and the drama and the toxic relationships, all right? And it moves us towards the House, which is that comfort that we were talking about, the safe refuge, the safe place to call home, the secure, emotionally secure, mentally stable, physically sound and secure. It's a brand new adventure, Capricorn, that you're moving towards here. For some of you, this could have an outcome of moving houses, or moving not just houses, but like some sort of distance here. So there's distance being created between the trouble in your life, or the trouble in your love life more specifically. There's distance being created between the trouble and the future comfort. All right, there's definitely distance being created here. All right, so you're moving away from the trouble towards security, safety, all right, comfort, peace, feels like home. All right, so as an outcome, that is actually, very positive for you there, Capricorn, that you're moving away from the drama, right? And luck is on your side. So, you know, take advantage of it when it comes close for you, is what that wanted me to say then. All right, Capricorn, so you're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any specific topics you would like me to look into. And we will move on over to Aquarius. Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Love and or your connection, Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius and love. Starting off with past, present, and future for you, Aquarius. The truth that you are avoiding when it comes to love and or your connection, Aquarius. All right, and then we will move over onto the advice and outcome. Advice and outcome for Aquarius with love and or your connection. Okay, Aquarius. Love energy for Aquarius, starting with the advice and then the outcome. Ooh. What's that word? Sometimes I see the word and I don't know how to say them. It's like, I swear that's why the universe does it to me like that sometimes. Sometimes I'll get the message directly, and then other times it will, you know, if it's a word that I struggle to say, it will spell it for me rather than, because I don't know how to say, like my conscious brain doesn't know how to say it. So it spells it for me the way that I will understand. But it's enigmatic is the word that's coming through. Very enigmatic. It's an enigma, all right? Oh, pardon me. Okay. Aquarius, starting off with the past energy, we do have looking back. So review the past for clues on how to move forward. So in the past, you have been very assessing of the things that you've been through when it comes to love in order to sort of understand where to go next, and what, you know, oh, okay, this went wrong, so therefore next time I'll try that. You know, you have a very, very assessing mind when it comes to love, which, you know, it's kind of a reviewing energy, but it kind of, you know, it's not a good or a bad thing. It's just a thing. It's weird, but it's just saying in the past you have had a tendency to get stuck on the past rather than to actually be looking forwards. You seem to get stuck on the past very easily, or your past you has had that, as the case. The current energy here, we have ascension, kind of going through a bit of a glow up for a lot of you here. I feel like too, for a lot of you, you're like, oh, I'm not changing at all, but spiritually, you're having a glow up spiritually, all right? And you will start to notice that the more that the inner light is coming out, the more attractive you look to others. You may not physically change at all, but it's a glow up, all right? Your soul starts shining a little bit brighter and you're attracting a different type of people to you or more people to you, just in general. You may just sort of start to notice that in the current energy here. I do feel for a lot of you, this is that energy of like you're walking down the street and you feel like you're the main character in a movie. And why is everyone looking at me? Why is everyone watching me? So if you do have anxiety issues, don't freak out. It is actually quite normal for that to happen when you are having a bit of a spiritual glow up. So I've noticed a lot of people don't really talk about that. I think because, you know, people get worried about ego and they don't want to sound conceited, that it's like everybody looks at me, everybody loves me, everybody is always, you know, thinks that I'm really hot. But it's like, it happens, all right? It really does happen. You do, as you know, evolve on a spiritual level, you attract a lot more attention, you know, good and bad. Okay, good and bad. Not gonna lie, it is good and bad because you will start to notice jealous looks as well as Aquarius is looking damn fine kind of looks. You will notice the jealousy ones as well. It's because a lot of energies can recognize that you're on your glow up, and that they get jealous because why am I not Aquarius, basically. Um, and it's a soul thing. It's like a thing people do subconsciously. I don't think a lot of people are consciously aware of this thing. Um, so it's very interesting sometimes, but you do find your sexual attractiveness to others goes through the roof at certain points in your spiritual journey as well. You know, if you like me, you just get, I've got a Leo rising though, so I'm just used to it. I am the main character. So now who sounds conceited? But ascension, you rise to the highest spiritual pinnacle. All right, so you are going through a spiritual glow up. You are sort of starting to ascend your ideals when it comes to love as well, and what you want and deserve. It's like you're coming into awareness of what you actually deserve when it comes to love, rather than what you have put up with in the past. All right. In the future, we do see the celebrate energy. Savor your success and treat yourself to luxury. Oh, I'm getting a luxury trip in your future. Ooh. And for some of you, it's not even a luxury trip. It's a luxury, like, for you trip. All right. Because, the thing people don't understand is sometimes when, I get a message about like a luxury trip, if you are someone that has, lived a relatively luxurious life, a luxury trip is very, very different to somebody who is coming from a very poor kind of background. Like when I was younger, luxury to me was being able to buy Pop-Tarts. That was a luxury trip to the shops if I could buy brand name food. Okay, that so we go through different stages with that sort of stuff as well. But understanding comparably, like compared to your situation, this is going to be a luxury trip for you. So for some of you, it may just be like, yeah, that luxury trip to the supermarket where all of a sudden you can afford to buy the brand name stuff that week, which, with the state of the cost of groceries and petrol and all those sorts of things, that's a big deal this week, right? If you can afford the actual proper brand name stuff, wow, you're doing well for yourself. Okay, Aquarius. The truth, you're avoiding the challenging aspect. Ooh. See this mask that she's wearing? This card, it's at the top here, it says fake version of you. So this is the version of yourself that you have been presenting in the past. Or you have, you maybe, for some of you, you're not even really aware that you put on this face. Sometimes, that it's just become habit for some of you here. It does say you changed your whole vibe to be easier for them. Ew. Authenticity, rejection, and self-honor. This is part of your spiritual glow up right now, is that I have more honor for myself than doing what's easy for you. All right. This is that energy of, if I'm too much, that's fine. Go find somebody who's less. I'm getting very like, like, very, what's the phrase? I don't know. I can't think of what I'm talking about here, but it's, you changed your vibe to suit somebody else in the past. And so that's why this looking back energy has become important for you as well in the past, is that you look back and you go, I wasn't even myself when I was with that person. I like tried to hide and minimize myself a lot. And I didn't say the things that I wanted to say sometimes because, it was easier to just not be myself, to hide behind a fake version of myself that was digestible, for somebody else's. That way there was no fight, it was easier The advice we're seeing for you, we have the Rider. So this is my card that, especially in this sort of a reading as an advice card, this card is the Try Again by Aaliyah song. You pick yourself up and try again, try again. Getting back up on the horse, getting back into the saddle, going for it. All right. So we're, getting up on that horse and we're riding off into the sunset. We're, moving forward. We're not backing down. We're moving forward, aiming for the sunset. We're not allowing, ourselves to stop. We're just going for it, and we're not holding back anymore. We're not hiding behind masks anymore. We're ascending now. We don't need to do that anymore. All right. And then the outcome, we see the crossroads. Free will, making strong choices and decisions for your future. So for a lot of you, this is where you're going to be getting that treating yourself to luxury. That's reason to celebrate, is that you have options. You have choices to make about what do I want and where do I want to go to get it. That, for some of you, this is actually choosing to pick up and go a completely different direction with your life. For others of you, this is just simply choosing to stay on the path that you're already on. It's decision time coming up soon. What do I really want? Where do I really want to go? And am I walking in that direction, or do I need to choose a new direction? All right. So you've got some stuff coming up in the near future here, Aquarius. But as long as you keep moving, you're on one of those. You're on one of the paths, no matter what. All right. As long as you keep moving forwards, whichever direction is taking you forwards is your advice to help you with that outcome. All right, so that is what we are seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course, and we will move on over to our Pisces. Not gonna lie, I thought this video would be hopefully under 2 hours, so we are running out of time for that to be the case. All right. Pisces. Okay, Pisces. What is going on for Pisces with love and or this connection, please? Pisces. Past, present, and future for our Pisces, please. The truth that Pisces is avoiding. The challenging aspect of love for our Pisces, please. Challenging aspect. The truth that Pisces is avoiding about love and or this connection, please. Quite a few people have had this same card with the avoiding position, which is surprising. Look how big this deck is, and you're the third sign to get this same card. Okay, Pisces, the advice and outcome for you with love and or this connection. Starting off with Pisces, love, advice, and the outcome. Oh, okay, yeah. Solid. Pisces, the past position we see here for you is stability. All right. Remain steady on course as you pursue your dreams. All right. So in the past, you've just been steadily as she goes. I kind of get this vibe of you, Pisces, that you're like, I've been staying the course. I've been stable. I've been staying on this course. And it's still not paying off for me yet. I'm hearing that from somebody here that, it's why is nothing changing? Why is nothing coming in yet? Why are my dreams not here yet? It's because you just sometimes patience is a virtue. It sucks, but I'm not a fan of patience, but it's stable, proving to yourself that you can stay the course. kind of thing. That, I feel like for a lot of you that you've also, for some of you, you've become very stable and comfort zoned, that with how things are right now, it's become a bit of a comfort zone for you. And so now it's gotten to that point where to actually pursue your dreams, it's like, even though you're already on the right course, there's pursue, the word pursue is in that you're stable and you're just steadily walking along. You're not actually pursuing those dreams, if that makes sense. So for some of you, I do feel there may be some action needing to happen in the near future or the present for you, especially here with this card, the integrity energy. It does say, be sure that your motives are pure before proceeding. All right. So once again, we're seeing pursue and then proceeding. So in the near future, there will be the need for action or movement on your end, Pisces, and that you're needing to make sure that your motives are pure. You're not moving forward just for the sake of moving forward, that you're doing so in a steady way, but you're not allowing yourself to stay stuck in your comfort zone either. All right. It feels like that perfect little middle ground. All right. And then what we see in the future, true love. Put your whole heart into what you desire. All right. So it's kind of feeling here like you're on the course and you are moving towards what you dream about here when it comes to love or this connection. But you do need to maybe clarify what it is you're actually wishing for here, or what it is you're actually, dreaming of happening here or changing, or, whatever. You maybe need to just get a little bit specific within your own self about what that looks like as a reality, so that you are, your motives are pure before you proceed, and then you have a better idea of what steps you may need to take in order to get to that. And then put your whole heart into it, jump in heart first. True love in the near future for you there, Pisces. The truth that you're avoiding, the challenging aspect for you, we have delete the text, block the number, reclaim your peace. Closure, detachment, release. All right. So for some of you, this is, that's part of that comfort zone that you've gotten comfortable in, not deleting that person from the past, in sort of leaving a little bit of, even if you're not leaving the whole door open, you're leaving it unlocked, just in case they might show back up one day. Or, and quite often when I'm getting this card too, it's not necessarily talking about your ex, Pisces. It's kind of, for a lot of you, it could be, not, I'm also picking up for you here, Pisces, not keeping tabs on your exes, but it could also be things like your backup plan person. All right. This could be somebody outside of your connection, outside of your, your love life, basically, that there's this backup plan that, well, if all else fails, I can always just ring them up, that kind of person. Maybe needing to close the door on that one as well. For some of you, this is also, it's like it's you're keeping tabs on your person's ex, or, your exes, who are they seeing now, or, and it's just, once again, make sure your intentions are pure before you proceed. Your motives are pure before you proceed. That you're not trying to show off to somebody that, oh, look, I've got better now. Or, it's something like that for some of you, Pisces, that you're just kind of needing to just close that door completely, and you've been avoiding it for a lot of you. Even if that's just in the back of your subconscious, you do need to maybe make a little bit more of a conscious effort to detach a little bit more from that past energy, or that third party energy. Your advice, we have the snake. It's very interesting as an advice card, Pisces. I am actually going to get clarification on that. Straight away, though, I am getting for some of you, your advice is to trust what the Scorpio says. The Scorpio that's giving you advice, listen to what they say. All right, so for that's maybe just for one or two of you. Pisces, the advice for Pisces when it comes to love. Clarify the snake for Pisces here, please. Interesting. So I feel like for a lot of you, this might have to do with that backup plan. You know, that person that's the backup plan that I said close the door on. Because this is a temptation. It is also a deception or an illusion. You know, a lie that we tell ourselves, a pretty little lie that we tell ourselves. So the advice is being followed through here with the fish in the garden. It's telling yourself that only one person will do. That seems to be the illusion that your advice is wanting you to see through that illusion that you've created. You know, so it's kind of, once again, a truth that you're avoiding here, coming through as a little bit of your advice is to remove the deception from your eyes, remove the temptation, that especially for those of you where it's like you've deceived yourself into thinking that there's only one possible person for your future. So whoever this true love is, you're like, I know who this is, and it's this one person. For some of you, that's a deception. Because with the fish and the garden, an abundance of meetings. For some of you too, it's a deception about getting out of the house. That there's an abundance of events and invitations that you need to start accepting, Pisces. So that's for just a couple of you as well. But because I know that a lot of my Pisces don't have that issue. But for those of you who know that that's you, you know that that's you. Start accepting those invitations and going to those events and doing things rather than hiding away. All right, get out in the public eye. Get out and be sociable. All right, this is an abundance. Plenty of fish in the sea here, Pisces. Why are you deceiving yourself and you know, trying to lead yourself, you know, because it's like, it's kind of like that whisper in your ear energy, you know, like in the snake in the Garden of Eden, where it's like you yourself whispering in your ear saying, eat the apple, eat the apple. Here's the garden, but here's fish. And you're like, I don't need to eat the apple. I'm going to go look for the fish, you know, so you're kind of deceiving yourself into only one strict path, telling yourself that there's only one way that all this makes sense for you, but you're needing to sort of open yourself to meeting other people, especially for those of you who are single, that there's plenty of fish in the sea. Get out there and meet them. It seems to be, you know, the deception that you're uncovering here. I hope that makes sense, Pisces. But the outcome we're seeing for you, the ring, relationships, commitments. That kind of speaks for itself. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the anchor as well. So stable, dependable commitments. True love. All right, true love. So it looks pretty good as a result here. It's just a matter of getting some of that undercover energy out of your system there, Pisces, especially if you are someone who does have the backup plan's number still in your phone. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. All right, it's time to detach and close that door completely from whatever that past energy, third-party energy, backup plan energy is. All right, Pisces. So that's what we're seeing for you, because you know that's really what that snake is. It's the little voice in the back of your head that's telling you that you need that backup plan, because you don't. You definitely don't, because lots of little fish in the sea. You just got to get out there and meet them. All right, Pisces. So that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we won't move on to any other signs. We will see you later.